Bitcoin is called the cryptocurrency leader coin. Bitcoin is the virtual currency developed by a programmer named Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009 and is a compound word of bit and coin. Bitcoin can be obtained through mining by solving complex mathematical problems created by Satoshi Nakamoto. Plan to issue 21 million by 2140. A certain amount is not issued every year. Issuance volume is reduced by half, approximately once every 4 years. This is called half-life. To date, about 92% have been mined and about 8% remains. Historical data shows that Bitcoin tends to rise in price in the months following a halving. According to prediction, the next halving will occur on April 19th. Experts agree that Bitcoin will continue to rally as the halving begins next month. Some believe it is possible to surpass $100,000 within the year. Bitcoin has a halving period in which mining rewards are cut in half to control scarcity and inflation. Bitcoin halvings occur approximately every 4 years, and problems become increasingly difficult, increasing scarcity. Bitcoin, which was paid out at the rate of 50 per mining block when it was launched in 2009, went through 3 halvings, reducing the rewards per block to 6.25. Bitcoin BTC's further halving will reduce the rewards per block to 3.125. Bitcoin, ahead of its halving, hit its highest price in 27 months. On January 11th, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission SEC approved the Bitcoin spot ETF, and 10 products were listed on the U.S. stock market and began trading. Bitcoin showed a roller coaster market, showing a record-breaking rise, then plummeting, then rising again. On March 5th, local time, Bitcoin reached an all-time high with a price per until exceeding $69,000, and a few hours later, Bitcoin broke the $60,000 level and fell to $59,000. It fell about 14% from its peak. Afterwards, the fall was reduced again, and Bitcoin resumed its rally, recording $67,072. The first halving is on December 28, 2012. The second is on July 11, 2016, and the third is on May 4, 2020. The next halving is expected to occur around the end of April 2024, during the first halving, the price of Bitcoin began to rise 13 months ago. It rose 7 times just before half-life. It rose about 100 times in just 12 months after the halving. Bitcoin, which was only $2 13 months before the halving, exceeded $1,000 a year after the halving. But it did not last long. After hitting its peak, Bitcoin fell 87%, falling back to below $200,000. At the time of the second halving, July 2016, Bitcoin began to rise 10 to 11 times before the halving. After that, Bitcoin rose an additional 30-fold by December 2017, 17 months after the halving. Bitcoin, which was less than $200 11 months before the halving, rose to nearly $20,000 in less than 3 years. Toward the end of this bull market, Korean investors began to take interest in Bitcoin in large numbers. Of course, this rise did not last forever. Bitcoin fell 84% from its peak. During the third halving, April 2020, the low point $3,000 per unit was reached in December 2018, 17 months ago. Since then, the prices have continued to rise, reaching $12,000 per unit in June 2020. What is different from the previous two halvings is that there was a large temporary decline around February and March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The price of each Bitcoin fell below $6,000. However, this difficulty was recovered and the price was $8,000 per unit in April 2020. It rose to $68,000 per unit at the end of 2021, 18 months after the halving period. After the Bitcoin fell another 78%, it is now approaching its fourth halving, April 2024. In December 2022, 17 months before the fourth halving, the price of Bitcoin reached a low point at around $15,000 per piece. Bitcoin shows an upward trend before and after the halving. Before the half-life, the increase is relatively slow, and after the half-life, it rises significantly. Prices will peak within 12 to 18 months after the halving. After passing the peak, there is a very large correction for about a year. After the adjustment, there will be a sideways market for a while. But when the next halving arrives, prices will begin to rise again. This step has been repeated 3 times so far without any problems.